This is what I eat on a weekday and weekend as a full-time engineer cooking for my boyfriend and I. It's a lovely Sunday, and I typically start my mornings at 8 a.m. with a refreshing drink and breakfast. Today we're having this plant-based macadamia milk from Costco that I found last week. It's super creamy and definitely satisfies my cravings for milk tea. I used to drink boba pretty religiously, but after realizing how unhealthy it is, I've cut back. The old habits do come up every now and then though, so this definitely satisfies those cravings. For breakfast, I just reheated some leftovers from last night, where I made a cherry tomato spaghetti pasta. It's really good. I also put in some field roast Italian garlic sausage, plant-based. It's made out of eggplant, onion, and garlic, and it is the best sausage that we've had. It's really good. We ate it for breakfast, put in pasta, and I highly recommend you try this out. I got it at Sprouts. In a few hours, we got hungry again, so I made us some breakfast burritos using a tofu scrambled egg and tofu fajitas that are also leftovers from the other day when I made Mexican food. Tofu scrambled eggs are super easy to make, and my boyfriend loves it. You just need to make sure you squeeze out all the liquid from the tofu, or it may get soggy. Turmeric is what gives it the yellow color, and Indian black salt, which is essential, gives it the eggy flavor. I also added other spices like salt, pepper, cumin, paprika, and some others for more flavor. If you know me, you know that I'm a huge hot sauce lover. I can't even remember the age I started eating it, because using Tapatio or Tabasco with my food has always been in my go-to routine. I'd say my tolerance is higher than average, but I rarely push the limits for the sake of my body. I mainly use hot sauce for an extra kick and to flavor my food. I always crave something sweet after eating dinner, so I'm eating an Aprium for dessert. And for dinner, I was feeling lazy, so I just baked a diet vegan pizza. Since it's a Sunday night, that means it's meal prep time. Tonight, I will be making a coconut chickpea curry using a recipe by Sarah's Vegan Kitchen, which I saw on YouTube. We also enjoy drinking soup in the mornings, so I'll also be making a hearty vegetable orzo soup in my pressure cooker. For a little background on myself, I am a 20-something-year-old who has been out of college for almost a year now. I studied general engineering, and now I'm working full-time as a systems engineer. I recently transitioned to a new position within the company, which allows me to follow a more hybrid schedule, but I still go into the office at least 2 times a week. There usually isn't much time during the week after work to cook, but I like to bring lunch, so I try to cook a big batch of something on Sunday. And my boyfriend does work fully remote, so I also try to prep some food for him. We started eating a plant-based diet early last year. My boyfriend was the first one to go vegan for ethical reasons, and then I followed suit afterwards when I learned more about the cause. I believe following a plant-based diet as much as you can is great for the animals, the environment, your health, and all people. Every little action and choice makes a difference, no matter how little you think it does. I will say, though, that although I mostly follow a plant-based diet, I do give myself flexibility when I'm traveling or am in situations and places that don't offer vegan options. It doesn't happen often living in Southern California, but when it does, I will usually opt for vegetarian options then. Now back to the food. This coconut chickpea curry recipe was super easy and creamy. I did add extra ingredients like this vegan ham that I bought from an Asian supermarket and broccoli. I don't often cook with broccoli, but I've been trying to challenge myself and buy vegetables that I don't normally buy. Broccoli is a great cruciferous veggie packed with nutrients that I've been working with this week. At this point, I'll just add in my vegetable broth and full-fat coconut milk and just wait for the curry to thicken. For the soup, I'm not following any recipe really. I'm just going with the flow, clearing out my fridge and letting my cooking creativity come through. Cabbage is another challenge vegetable that I'm working with this week. This big green ball always intimidates me in the market. But my mom used to put this in a yummy tomato soup, so I thought I'd give it a try. It turned out to be much easier than I expected to work with, and it cooks well in soup. In general, while I enjoy finding new recipes to try, I'm not super strict in the kitchen. I like to eyeball things, which sometimes doesn't turn out great, but most of the time it does taste great, and I can always adjust the flavor if it didn't turn out well. I always like to add a source of protein in my soups. It could be chickpeas, white bean, but this time I chose to go with black bean. Might as well. I wanted to make this more of a tomato-based soup, so I added diced tomatoes and tomato sauce. And of course, you can't forget the vegetable broth. I'm adding some bay leaves, which work great in soup, and then the soup's ready. So all I'm going to do is close the lid and let it cook on the soup mode for about 15 minutes, and now I can walk away and do whatever else I want. By this time, the curry is ready, and I'm ready to pack it into my glass container for lunch tomorrow. I will top it off with the extra pan-fried chickpeas that I saved earlier, and some cilantro. I also prepared a bowl for my boyfriend's lunch. I love to start the week strong with a nice healthy meal to get me through the day. It also saves me time in the morning when I don't have to worry about what to bring for lunch that day. By the way, I work in an area where I can't take any pictures or videos, so there will not be any footage of me devouring my lunch, but just know that it was fantastic and I love the crispiness that the pan-fried chickpeas give to the dish. By this time, the pressure cooker is done cooking and the soup is ready, so I'm just putting the remaining vegetable broth and my seasoning like salt, pepper, orzo, and other spices. The kitchen smelled amazing, and I couldn't wait to eat this in the morning. Happy Monday, everyone. Like I said before, I'm starting a new role today, and I have the usual new job jitters, but luckily I don't have breakfast to worry about. Usually we like to drink Amy's Kitchen lentil soup for breakfast, unless I've made soup the day before, which is the case today. We will add in pasta for extra carbs, energy, and chewiness, and we are also huge fans of sourdough bread. So these days I've been toasting some for us to have with the soup and some to make a hummus and tomato toast. It's quite an addicting toast combination that I recommend you try. I also start boiling some hot water to make tea for us. I'm not much of a coffee person, and I like to drink a simple oolong or green tea in the morning to get the day started. I also take a moment to pack the lunch I prepared last night, along with a peach as my dessert. This household loves avocados. We like to eat one avocado with our soup, so one half for my boyfriend, the other half for me, and the creaminess is so great in the soup. Now to make that hummus tomato toast that I mentioned earlier. I'm using a roasted red pepper hummus from Trader Joe's, just spreading it evenly along the toast, and then I cut some slices of tomato and put on top. And I'll also sprinkle some everything bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's. You can also see that my wardrobe is changing as the video goes on. I've got a blazer on now over my blouse, and that's because I am multitasking in the morning because I usually wake up around 7 and I'm trying to get to work by 8:15. The soup is ready now and it was so delicious. There's also a portion of soup for my boyfriend, but we kind of do our own schedules in the morning since we do have different schedules, so he'll sometimes go to the park and then be showering when I am on my way to work. So he'll drink the soup later. Back to making that tea. I make it a habit to make tea for my boyfriend and I, and he'll get chai tea while I'll get oolong tea or whatever other tea I'm feeling like that morning. We don't do much to our tea. We just pour hot water in, add some oat milk, and for me, I like it a little sweet, so I'll add a sugar alternative. Right now, I've been using date syrup. I'll also add some cinnamon to my boyfriend's chai tea to make it a little more fancy. And finally for dinner, to reward myself for getting a pretty busy Monday and first day done, we are eating Chipotle. I'm not joking when I say I am a Chipotle fanatic. Less so now, but definitely in college and high school, I was eating a bowl of Chipotle every week. It's just so good, and you get the bang for your buck, and it really fills you up, especially. I ordered a sofritas bowl, and I think it's because I asked for extra veggies, but my bowls are always super stacked. So by this time, it's 5 p.m., and we are both winding down from the workday and enjoying this meal together. I'm grateful I can come home to my boyfriend every day and share the ups and downs of my day with him. He also makes a smoothie for us every day, and I'm eating that for dessert.